First of all, to my right here is Lieutenant Mickey Convoy. He's a 28-year veteran of the Fire Department of New York City. He's presently assigned to Squad 41 in the Bronx. As a firefighter, Mickey served in Engine Company 79, a Ladder 37, and Rescue 3. Mickey is an adjunct instructor at the FDNY Fire Academy and the FDNY's Technical Rescue School. He was instrumental in the development of the course Advanced Firefighter Rescue. Sitting next to Lieutenant Convoy is Aaron Kinney. Aaron's hard to miss. He's a very tall man. Aaron Kinney is a former NFL professional football player and a dedicated civil servant with over 20 years of experience in fire and emergency services. He's held several ranks during his fire service career in both paid and volunteer organizations. Aaron presently serves as the Fire and Rescue Services Coordinator with the Williamson County Office of Public Safety in Franklin, Tennessee. Coach Bob Hurley. Coach Bob Hurley Sr. served as a Hudson County, New Jersey probation officer for 28 years, receiving numerous awards during his service. He has been the head coach for St. Anthony's High School in Jersey City, New Jersey for 40 years. Coach Hurley has more than 1,000 career wins, and his teams have captured 27 state parochial titles. He has 7 undefeated seasons and 4 national championships. He was selected as the USA Today National High School Coach of the Year on 3 occasions. In 2008, he was the first ever recipient of the Naismith National High School Coach of the Year award, and he is the only the second high school basketball coach to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And sitting to my far right is Captain Mark Sanders. Captain Sanders is a member of the City of Cincinnati Fire Department, and Mark has been a member of the Career Fire Service for 20 years. Mark's professional military career spanned 22 years. He served as a medic in the U.S. Army as well as an officer in both Army and infantry occupational fields. He's a graduate of the U.S. Army's Scout Leaders Course, the Airborne School, Infantry Captain's Course, and Maneuver Captain's Course. Mark is a combat veteran of the Desert Storm conflict. He commanded an armored cavalry troop in Kosovo, and most recently served as an executive officer for a special operations company in Afghanistan.
But we all know seconds count on the Fireground. Everything that we do, from size up, reading the building, reading the fire, what type of building do we have, where is the fire, where's the fire extending to. Quick search, the emphasis is always on tempo for the search. We have to reach these people before it's too late. Stretching lines, fast water, we all know so many times when something goes wrong in the Fireground, we need to get water on the fire faster. We just had a recent fire where a friend of ours was seriously burned to the city. And he came out the window on fire, and 30 seconds later, the water came out the window. And his chiefs afterwards said, hey, what do you think the factor was? How long did it take to get water? And the answer is too long. And again, time was the thing. If the water came out the window 30 seconds before the firefighter, we would never talk about that fire. Time is a critical issue. Timely ventilation, a lot of things are being changed or written today on ventilation. Ventilation is timely, coordinated, and effort, but like that, we're trying to get that building back the way we want it back, not the way he wants it back. And reacting to those changing conditions, timely manner. Whoever can change quicker is the guy that's going to be ahead of the game, and also ahead of the firefighter on the fire.
I remember my position coach used to, my rookie year, and told me, he said, look, Aaron, you're respectful, you're easy to coach, and it's great. He said, but there's 2 kinds of players coaches don't want. Ones that don't do what their coaches tell them, and ones that will only do what their coaches tell them. And it took me a minute to really grasp or understand that, but in particular, we were working on a play, and I was running exactly how I was told to run it. Well, it was never open when I ran it exactly how I was told to run it. And basically what he was getting at is, take initiative, you see where the hole is, as long as you're meeting the intent of the play and you're in the area you're supposed to be in, get open. I don't care if you're in the exact spot that I told you to be in. I want you to make the play. And that actually turned my career around, because I went from being a rookie that was kind of like, playing and trying to do everything exactly right to someone I was just focused on make the play. Make the play, be a difference maker, make something happen to help your team win. But never be in a position where you could turn around and say, if I would just done this different, we would have won. So that was what I focused on.
Stories. My Kobe Bryant story is probably the one that people enjoy the most. We're playing against Kobe in his senior year of high school. And when he was a junior, he came to Jersey City to play against us. And he scored 35 points against us, and we beat him by about 20. They weren't even relevant in the game, but he got his. So the following year, we're going to play down in Philadelphia. We're going to play at St. Joseph's University right here in Philly, and the game's going to be on local cable. He's not going to college, so there's a bunch of NBA people there that are watching him. And we come in the building to play that night without our leading scorer, Anthony Perry, and our best guard, Michelle Burnham. The day before, we had a snowstorm, and they stayed home from school, but came in the afternoon for practice. So because they weren't in school, they couldn't practice. And if you don't practice the day before a game, I don't care who you are, you don't play the next day. So before the game, Kobe actually goes over to our bench, and he knows the two of them from playing in camps and AAUs, and he goes over and he asks, what's the matter with them? Didn't they want to play against them? And they both kind of put their heads down and said, the rules got in the way again, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. And we went out and beat this team by 15 without our two best players. And the lesson was learned, and we went, we continued to continue to plod along, and every time we have to make a decision, the decision will never be affected by what's good for that particular person or what's good for me and my resume. It's always what's good for the group. And everything we do is about what's good for the group. I have no individual statistics on my teams. So if you wanted to know who's the leading scorer for my team, I can guess that I think one kid scored more points than someone else. But we don't keep individual statistics. In basketball, if somebody scores 1,000 points, they usually have it's a big deal. They have confetti and a cake, and mom comes out and they give the family a basketball. The Jersey Journal, which is our local newspaper, calls me after someone scores 1,000. Before our next game, we hand the family a basketball, and we go back to the business of us being a team. So it's all about team. We don't interest ourselves too much in individual accomplishment, and we always say that individual accomplishment comes after team success. So if you want to make an all-state team, let's not have me try to put an article on paper about how many points you scored in a game. Let's win a state championship and play well in the state final. That would validate who you are as a player.
Thanks, Coach.
But the reason I bring up that Mayday is because, and the reason I bring up my face piece breaking, was the only reason that my face piece was coming off is because my forearms were laying on a high pressure hose. It was my own body weight that was holding it. That's the state of mind I was in. It was completely, I think a good look. I mean, that's a pretty long call. But even in that state of mind, I was able to sound a Mayday because I drilled on it, practicing. It's muscle memory. It's what you do. So it's what you do. And that's kind of where I was leading it to. But part of the reason that I was able to return to work as a fireman with no really lasting injuries from this is the training. I wore the basic stuff again. I had all my gear on. I had it on properly. I had all my straps tight. I had my helmet on correct. Everything I went in that fireman, I came out of it with. There's more than a small amount of luck involved with it. But it turned out well because I felt like I was trained well. Again, I wish I had some more positive examples of, hey, we did this, and the turnout was great. We turned out fine. This event did turn out fine. It was a little bit more of a negative event starting out. This fall is Mayday. I'm walking, talking. I'm back on the job 100%. That house has been remodeled. There's a family living in it. So things worked out, but they worked out because we drilled and trained. I trust the guys coming in after me. It's just basic stuff.